Well, after being released from jail just days ago, a man cleared on a murder charge is back behind bars.
Marquavius McLeod was free for less than a week before being arrested again just yesterday.
Tonight, we are learning new details about his latest arrest.
The 22-year-old is charged with being a convicted felon in possession of a firearm. 3 Inside's Quentin Smith speaks with the district attorney. He joins us now. Quentin, where did this charge come from?
Well, Howard, investigators say McLeod had a handgun the same day that mass shooting happened, which is something he's not allowed to do because of his record. The DA's office says new evidence has emerged in this case, which led to this new charge.
The investigation led to new information.
District Attorney Jody Owens says that new information reveals that 22-year-old Marquavius McLeod was carrying a gun illegally. According to an indictment, on or about March 22, 2025, McLeod was in possession of a black Glock 22 .40 caliber handgun. That's also the same day the deadly mass shooting happened after the Howe St. Patty's Parade in downtown Jackson. See, McLeod is not allowed to carry a gun since he's a convicted felon. That felony charge dates back to 2024 when he pleaded guilty to being in possession of a stolen vehicle. McLeod was serving a 7-year suspended sentence prior to the shooting taking place. When it comes to that deadly mass shooting, it happened back in March of 2025. McLeod was charged with murder and 6 counts of aggravated assault. However, a grand jury recently cleared him of all of those charges. So we asked Owens why McLeod was not initially charged with possessing a gun. He says the investigation did not reveal those details until now.
There was approximately 20 shell casings on the ground at the time. All those shell casings have to be tested. Individuals have to be interviewed. Footage has to be reviewed. We knew that there were certain aggressors, and that's what we do in every case. We decide who's the aggressor, who started the event, and what individuals might have been in self-defense, or those individuals might have been protecting their loved ones. But at this point in time, we just didn't know that information when he was originally arrested.
Marquavius' older brother, Michael, was also charged with murder and aggravated assault. From the beginning, he expressed he only shot back in self-defense. A grand jury did not find enough evidence to charge him with a crime.
With Mr. McLeod being an officer of the University of Mississippi Medical Center and also, I believe, an Air Force reservist, he was well in his right to need to defend himself if necessary, but we wanted to make sure we understood all the facts surrounding that.
Now, a third person, Kanye Davis, was also arrested in this case. He is charged with murder and 7 counts of aggravated assault. The DA says more indictments are coming in this case in the coming weeks. When it comes to McLeod, he will remain behind bars until his next court appearance. That's set to take place February 19th. Quentin Smith, 3 on your side.